My spaghetti sauce is done, and I got a nice thick sauce here. So I'm going to make some lasagna. I have some vegan cheese here that I have frozen, and it's kind of a soft cheese. So I'm going to use that in my lasagna along with this zucchini and lasagna noodles. So I'm going to make a zucchini casserole. So without further ado, I'm going to chop up my zucchini, grate my cheese, and layer up this casserole. Alright, so now I have shredded up this frozen vegan cheese, and I made that around the holidays, but I didn't like the way it turned out for the purpose I wanted it for. So I froze it instead, and I figured I would make a lasagna out of it because it is creamy. So here I have my zucchini, and I have my tomato sauce. Now I'm going to put some no-bake or no-boil noodles on top of it. And I'm just making a small casserole because I am just one person. And this is actually enough for probably at least 3 meals for me, if not 4. If I have a salad with it, it would be enough for 4. So I'm just making a little casserole. So now I'm layering my sauce on there, and the zucchini is has a lot of water in it, so it will cook the lasagna noodles very nicely. Now these lasagna noodles are the Barilla oven ready, but I just happen to have these in the pantry. But I use regular lasagna noodles the same way all the time. And the only difference, I put a little bit of extra water in with when I use the regular lasagna. So I'm going to layer some of this cheese on there. And I shredded it all up. So it's actually still frozen. And this is an almond cheese. And honestly, I don't even remember what all I put in there, but it was an herb, like an herb cream cheese. So I'm going to put that on there. And it does get quite soft, as you can see. So I think it'll be great in the lasagna. So I need to get the other cheese. That was poor planning on my part. Hang on a second. Get this creamy cheese off my fingers. And yes, I did wash my hands. So they are clean. But I'm going to put some of this cheese on. And like I said, it is quite soft. But that's good for lasagna. So I will be right back. I need to get my other cheese. So I only have the dairy-free cheddar shreds by Follow Your Heart. I like the Follow Your Heart cheeses. I like them much better than the Daiya. So I'm going to put a layer of that on here now. I don't have any mozzarella, so that will have to do. Then I'm going to put another layer of pasta. Now I have made this before, and I've made it before with eggplant and zucchini and the pasta, and it was really, really good. But I don't have any eggplant this time, so I will just make it with the zucchini. And I'm very happy that somebody gifted me that zucchini, because I can eat a few meals out of that. And we all know I'm doing my no spend, low spend, so and I'm grateful for anything like that that I get. And it's the garden season, so people have too much of everything. So that works for me. Alright, I'm going to put another layer of zucchini in there. And zucchini and tomatoes are delicious anyway. So it will be yummy. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the rest of this zucchini. I may just shred it up and freeze it, or I may make zucchini bread with it. I'm not sure yet, but I do like zucchini casseroles. And I did put some of this pasta sauce with some Aldi's vegan, vegetarian, whatever they are, meatballs. So I will make something with that too, and I'm thinking maybe rice. But for now, I'm making the lasagna. So I think I might make one more layer. And I want to put some more cheese on here. But this time I'm going to use a spatula instead of my fingers, because that was pretty messy. But I'm glad to be using this up now, because it's been in the freezer for quite a while. And I like using things up. We all know I like using things up. So that's that. I'm going to put a little bit more cheese on there. And then I'm going to be putting the last layer on. And I'm going to bake this in my toaster oven, because for one person a toaster oven is awesome. You don't have to heat up your kitchen, and it works great. And actually these Barilla noodles are actually just the right size for this pan. So last layer. So I have 3 layers of noodles on here with my homemade sauce, well, at least partially homemade, because it was with canned tomatoes and pasta sauce. But so this is going to be the top layer. We'll stick a few more zucchinis on there. Now this won't get any more pasta on top of it. And I have 1 pasta noodle left. Oh boy. Why does that always happen? I don't know. 1 noodle. Well, I'll use it somewhere. So I'm going to use up the rest of this shredded up cheese. Starting to get soft now, but that's okay. It's actually way easier to put on here when it's frozen, but that actually worked out very well. And this is all vegan, since I use the TVP in my sauce. And how I made the sauce is in the video from day 21, which was yesterday. So if you have interest in that, give that a look. And tomorrow is day 23 of the 31-day no spend. And I think it addresses getting free money, so I don't know. I don't know where that's going to lead us, but I'm sure everybody likes free money. So there's that. And I had a little tiny piece left here that I couldn't do anything with because it was too small, so I'm just going to cut that up. I'm going to put that on top too. And hopefully this will be tasty. I know when I made it with mozzarella, vegan mozzarella, and eggplant, it was really, really good. So I don't see why this wouldn't be too. So I still have a little pasta sauce left in there, and I'm not going to use that for this dish. That is actually enough at least for one more meal. So I can probably get at least, I would have to guess, I could probably get at least 6 meals out of the pasta sauce recipe that I made. So there we go. I'm going to cover this with some foil. Stick it in the oven at probably 375 for maybe an hour. I have to test it and see when the zucchini and the pasta is done. And I think it'll be good. So I'll be back later. Okay, next dish. Since I still have some spaghetti sauce left over, these are crispy crowns, and instead of tater tots, I'm going to use these and make a tater tot-ish kind of casserole with my zucchini and my tomato sauce and some cheese. So I'm going to put that together. So I diced up some zucchini here, and I zapped it for 3 minutes. I want to try and get some of this water out of it so it doesn't get too watery. But I think I'm going to let it sit a minute and put some salt on it. And I think I'm going to use garlic salt. I like garlic salt. I use it on almost everything. So we'll put a little garlic salt on and let that sit for a few minutes to pull out some of the water. And set that aside. And this is how much spaghetti sauce I still have left. So that will be going in the tater tot casserole that I'm making. So along with that and the zucchini, and then I'm going to put a little bit more of the Follow Your Heart cheddar cheese in there, because who doesn't like cheese? And then, like I said, I'm going to use these crispy crowns. Not quite like tater tots, but that's what I have. That's what I'm going to use. So we'll see how that turns out. Now these have a little bit of frost on them, but not too bad. I ate these actually last week. I had some for breakfast, and they were perfectly fine. So I hate when frost gets on my food, but can't throw it away. Not unless it tastes funky, and it didn't. So I'll be back when the zucchini's done. Alright, I'm back. So I found these little casseroles. There's 3 of them, and they nest. And when I was cleaning out my cupboards, I found them in the back of the cupboard, and I think they're just so doggone cute. And they kind of go a little bit with this pot. I got these a long time ago at Kohl's, and it was like a set of 3. They're the enameled pots. But anyway, you know, in keeping with the theme of using what you have, I'm using what I have. So the zucchini let out some of the water. It's not totally cooked, but good enough. And I'm going to put, actually now that I'm looking at it, it's not very much. I'm actually thinking of adding a little more zucchini. So I'm going to add some more. So I have these little salt and pepper packets that I got from a restaurant, and I decided to keep them. So I'm going to put that in with my tater tot casserole. I have to tell you guys, I was not always this frugal, and it's something that I'm learning, and I've had to learn since I quit working. I actually used to make very good money when I worked, but when you retire, you sort of have to tighten the belt. So I'm learning to become very frugal, because I was actually kind of a spendthrift. Whatever I wanted, I bought it. So, and that's why so many of us have so much stuff, and now I'm looking through things that I'm not going to use. But like I said, a lot of it I am keeping because I can't afford to buy it again. And now I am living on a pretty low income. So anyway, I just wanted to tell you about the salt and pepper packets. And I know Brothers Green Eats, it's called something else now, they split up, but they have a series on where he would go into restaurants and, you know, take things like this because he was trying to live on, I can't remember, like $3 a day or something. But anyway, so, you know, don't just throw things like that away. You might need them someday. So I'll be back when my zucchini's done here. Okay, my zucchini is partially cooked. Ugh, I'm telling you, I am shedding hair like crazy. I have to get back on my supplements. Those really worked. And I did have a video on that. And I am notorious for not taking pills and things because I just don't like to do it. So I think once it's fixed, then I stop doing it. But I have to get back on those supplements. And that was vitamin B complex, magnesium, what else was it? Magnesium, vitamin D. I don't know. I have a video, and I'll try and post it in the description box below. So, okay, I'm going to use up the rest of my pasta sauce here and put that in there. Like I said, tomatoes and zucchini is really a good combination. So, there we go with that. And I did drain this zucchini after I cooked it in the microwave for like 3 minutes and let it sit for a little bit. Put a little salt on it, a little garlic salt, and let it sit. And I did drain it because I don't want my pasta sauce to turn into pasta soup. So stir that up a little bit. And now I'm going to put the crispy crowns on there. Like I said, this is like my version of a tater tot casserole. This would be great to do like a shepherd pie, where, you know, and you can even use the instant mashed potatoes with that. But I'm trying to clean out my fridge and my freezer instead of using everything up that I have in the pantry, because the stuff in the fridge and the freezer doesn't last as long. So that's why I'm doing the tater tot casserole. So I'm just going to layer this up, and I'll be back in a minute. Alright, so here it is with all the tater tots I had left over on there. Now I'm going to sprinkle it with some cheese. And like I said, this is the Follow Your Heart cheddar cheese. So I'm going to layer that on there. hopefully this will be good. If not, we'll eat it anyway. I mean, how could it not be good? It's, you know, it's cheese and zucchini and potatoes, so I'm thinking it'll be fine. So that will be going into the oven. I'm going to cover it with this little lid. And that will be going into the oven when the lasagna is done. So I'll be back when the lasagna is done. So before I shred this, this is how much of the zucchini I have left. I'm going to shred this and maybe freeze it. I'm not sure. But that's what I have left. I was debating, should I make zoodles out of it? But I think I'm going to be zucchinied out by the time I eat these 2 casseroles. So I think I'm just going to freeze it. Well, the lasagna's not done yet. It's been in there for 55 minutes and it's still not done. So I put it in for some more. Shredded up the zucchini and I got about 3 cups. So I think I'm going to save that, and maybe tomorrow I will make some zucchini bread. I have an old recipe that I made back from the 70s, and my oldest son loved it. So I think I'm going to revive that recipe and maybe make him a loaf. And then I was going to say something more. Oh, I wanted to show you guys these. I've had a fruit fly problem, and I made these. You make little tiny holes like around the middle, and I'm collecting fruit flies. It's gross, but there they are. And just put a rubber band. Now I have apple cider vinegar in there. They like wine. They like kombucha. They like anything that's fermenting. So if you ever have any fruit fly problems, this works great. So, alright, I'm going to go wait for my zucchini, or my zucchini lasagna. Well, lasagna still isn't done, still waiting. And this is my sourdough starter that, I don't know, something has gone awry with it. It's just not bubbling up the way it should. I see some bubbles going on there. Can you see those little bubbles? Probably not. I don't think there's enough light. But anyway, I don't know what's going on with that. So I tried baking a loaf of bread with it. Well, it's still rising. So I'll see what happens. But I'm real sad about that because it made the best bread. I may have to start all over again. Well, this is my clay baker. That's what I bake my sourdough bread in. So I'm going to smear that up with a little coconut oil, and then I'm going to put the loaf in that I have going in the bread machine. I'm letting it rise in there. So, and then I'll put it in the fridge and let it rise overnight and bake it in the morning and see what happens. So I have a little coconut oil here and a paper towel, and I'm just going to grease this up so the bread doesn't stick. And I'm hoping that this is going to revive, but I don't know. I'm going to grease the top too, just in case. But, like I said, I'm sad about my sourdough bread, my sourdough starter, because it was so nice, and then it wasn't. So anyway, I'm going to get the bread out of the bread machine now and shape it up. Okay, here's my bread. It's a little sticky, but I don't have any flour here. So I'm just going to do the best I can with it. And I'm going going to fold it under itself. This dough is actually a little too wet, but it's all right. So I'm going to put this in my pot. Like I said, the dough is a little wetter than it should be, but I think it'll be all right. And I put some herbs in here, some oil. So there it is, and that's going to get covered and put in the fridge. And hopefully it'll turn into bread. So I don't know. I've lost my touch. So this is what I do with it. I just cover it with the shower cap, and I put it in the refrigerator overnight. So for at least 12 hours, I'm going to put that in there. And you can go longer if you want. So, and my lasagna, I'm going to check that again because the timer just went off. So there's the lasagna. It looks good. So I ended up baking it about an hour and 20 minutes. And it's done now. The zucchini is soft. And I'm going to let that cool off because it's like screaming hot. But I think it's pretty good. So you can't cut that yet. It's just too hot. But I'm going to leave that sit out. And I'm going to put my other casserole in. And bake that for, maybe about 45 minutes. So there, I'm going to cover it and put that in the oven. And we'll see how that turns out. So I've been cooking all day, and I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that my bread turns out tomorrow. Lasagna is done, looking good. Looks real good, so I'm going to give it a taste. And I know you can't see me, so I'll have to turn the camera around. But I'm going to give it a taste. So hopefully you can see me, because I can't see you. Really good. Shouldn't talk with my mouth full. It's really good. So there you have it. And I'll take my other casserole out because that just finished too. So this is the tater tot one. And they both look very similar, but they'll taste different. So anyway, there we have it, my two casseroles. And I'll be back later because we have to talk about day 23. Here we go, day 23. No spend, low spend. Here's the book I'm going by. Anyway, I want to keep this brief since my cooking video was so doggone long. And today's subject is getting free money. We all like free money. One of the things it suggests in the book is going for a money hunt. And that means going through your house and looking behind the cushions of your couch, getting those piggy banks, those jars of money that you stick your change in. I have a little piggy bank that I put together for my grandkids, and I know there's some money in there. So what it suggests you do is go on a money hunt, check your pockets, check your purses, your old wallets, whatever. I got a messy hairdo today, don't I? Anyway, Not a real big thing, but that's one of the things the book suggests. And then you take it to a Coinstar and have it wrapped. And Coinstar has, let's see, they have a website where they tell you where you can go, where their Coinstars are. And it's www.coinstar.com. And I just see now they charge a commission unless you trade in your coins for a grocery card. I did not know that, which can also be handy because we all like to eat. So anyway, that's an option. Then it goes on to say that look for your forgotten gift cards. I know I'm guilty of that myself. I have a gift cards that people give me for birthdays and Christmas, and then they just sit there. So that's a way to get money too, or it's a nice way to go out and have a free meal. So that's one thing that was suggested. And then it also says don't forget about e-gift cards. If you're a member of Swagbucks, which is www.swagbucks.com, or restaurant.com, which is http://restaurant.com, or if you subscribe to group coupon sites like Groupon, which is www.groupon.com, or LivingSocial, www.livingsocial.com. And so gather up your gift cards and see what you can find with those. And I'm going to try and remember to put some of these websites down in the description box below. It says also you can earn Swagbucks. I'm not real familiar with using that, but they also have a website, and you can get that on livingwell/savingmoney/Swagbucks/. So that's on the Living Well Spending Less website. And there's other free money sites too. There's Jingit, which I'll try and post these all below. Recyclebank. There's InboxDollars, and of course Ebates. Now a lot of those sites is getting money back from spending money, so you don't want to run out now since we're on a low spend, no spend, and you know, spend some bucks to get some bucks, because that would be silly. But anyway, those are some of the websites. And tomorrow's video is going to be day 24, and we're going to be talking about getting free stuff. So that's always nice. So we'll go over that tomorrow. And I'm going to stop talking now, and I'm going to get busy and put up this video and try and get all those websites put in the description box below. All right, my friends, have a wonderful day. Have a blessed day. I love you guys. Abundant blessings to you, and I'll see you next time.